Well, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good day, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to our segment with the lovely Dr. Nekeshia Hammond. I am Dr. Jacqueline King. Let us know where you're tuning in from, of course. And May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we could not let this month go by without talking to our favorite psychologist
Mhm.
who is so faithful on Mental Health Moment every Tuesday night. So we took her spot tonight to talk to you about, mental health, which is, it's a real big issue. I mean, it's an issue everywhere. And Dr. Hammond, how are you?
I am wonderful. I'm wonderful. How are you?
I am doing well also. I'm excited about tonight because there's so much going on in the world.
Yeah.
And some people, people are losing their jobs, income, just all kind of stuff is going on. And so I think it's something that we really do need to address. First of all, hello, Detroit. Katrina, I think that's it. Katrina.
Mm.
Share the broadcast, please. So Dr. Hammond, what are you seeing out there? What's you have your finger on the pulse. What are you seeing?
Yeah, and you're right. There's been so many changes, which is hard all at once, which is definitely affecting, I mean, really globally affecting our mental health and our wellness. One of the things I preach for those of you who are not new to mental health moment is always how to like take the pause and slow down sometimes because we're so inundated with information. We are inundated with our to-do list, with the task, with the family and the friends and social media and politics and like all these things that are going on. And it can be really, really overwhelming when we don't really take the time to take care of ourselves. So that is definitely what I've seen in meeting thousands and thousands of people at this point. And it just continues to be the trend. But I'm on the positive side, I am happy. Of course, it's Mental Health Awareness Month. Like you said, I am happy that we're having these conversations to say, you know what, like how can we make some changes for the better?
Yeah, so for me, you've known me for a long time. You know I
Yeah.
am a news buff. I had to turn it off, Doc,
Yeah.
because it gets to be really overwhelming. What can you say to the other people like me, like could watch it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week?
Yes, and you know what? It is important to take a break from the news or social media or whatever it is that can be draining to you because what's interesting now is, I mean, technology is what it is, but we are like the information we get is so it's almost like too vivid, if that makes sense. So we're watching things, but we're seeing like graphic things online, hearing graphic things online, traumatic things happening, even though it's happening to other people. We're witnessing all of that, like trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma. Like that takes a toll on you when you just take in all that negativity, the negative information. Look what's happening. The world's falling apart. Like everything's horrible. Like that's which is not really true, but we can start to tell ourselves that. I think it's called doom scrolling. They call it now when you just I mean, it can just take you to into a spiral downwards when we just do too much as far as taking in too much social media or any like just the negativity, the news or whatever it is. So you have to I would say to people like you almost you have to really recognize this is a part of self-awareness, but you have to recognize where your limits are, right? Like just recognize the point where you're like, you know what, too much. Like I need to take a step back, a break. We all have different limits, if you will, but when you know, okay, this is draining, you feel yourself getting sadder, you feel yourself or getting angry or whatever it is that's not productive for you, right? Like take a step back. It's okay to take a break.
Yeah, definitely. I'm better than I was. I'm not like all day or anything
Yes, good.
anymore. I've cut back quite a bit, but Doc, let me. So if I mean, especially with the whole immigration thing, we do have somebody on here from India. Welcome, UK is on. Um, if you're, I mean, this whole ICE thing, if you're like constantly in fear that they're going to get your parents, so the kids are stressed out, the parents are stressed out. What can you say?
It's a lot. um, it's a lot because I mean, again, what's hard, I think, is that we're all like I don't know. I just think of like growing up before like social media and that sort of thing. We didn't have cell phones in our hand to like just watch like every single aspect. Again, like really graphic things that you can be watching people yanked out of homes or yanked out of schools or whatever it is that's going on, which goes back to like sometimes just needing to take a pause and a break and or having conversations with other people about it to process all that is happening. There's a lot of changes that have happened in the last couple of years. It is a lot for our brains to process, which is why if you're doing things, hopefully, if you're doing things to help yourself in some way with your mental health and you're like, okay, this isn't enough, then maybe you need to reach out to a mental health professional or a coach or a friend or a person of a place of worship or someone around you who is a positive influence for you, and make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Because again, yeah, there's a lot happening. There's a lot happening in the world.
Yeah, well, I know you give tips on some of the things that they can be doing. Can you tell some of the things that they can do to relieve the stress?
Yes, and for those of you who are not new to Mental Health Moment, for my regulars, you guys know I always talk about, and maybe there's some newbies, so hey, you all. But one of the things I always suggest, because I know everyone is busy, and this is something I live by now when I had my 180 and I had to make some massive changes in my life to work on more self-care, is to make sure that you're working on taking a minute, like 60 seconds a day for yourself. It is
Hmm.
it is so easy to run ourselves into the ground. Like you said, maybe watching too much news or doing too much or checking in too much with other people, which is not a bad thing to do. But when you start to neglect yourself, it's an issue, right? So if you take those 60 seconds, you can even time yourself with a cell phone and whatever it is for you that brings you joy, 1 minute, if it's prayer, if you believe in prayer, if it's taking some deep breaths, if it's just taking a quick walk outside, I love my little cups of tea, like whatever it is for you that you're like, let me allow yourself to reset, recharge, and have that time for you. I promise you it won't make all your problems go away. I wish it could. It doesn't do that, but you're working on training your brain to reset, recharge your. Sometimes you're even working on if that's your thing, everybody is in a different place. If you're working on your self-love or your worthiness, if you will, that you deserve to be emotionally healthy, you deserve to be happy, you deserve to have joy in your life, taking those moments for you in silence or whatever that looks like to bring you again micro moments of joy is one of the things that you can do to really think about, how do I reset my mind and my body?
Absolutely. We thank you, everyone that's coming on. Share the broadcast, please. We do have a pretty sizable audience. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. Um, yeah. So, what about breathing? Does that help?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I feel like I want to like shout from the rooftops to people how important deep breathing is. It is so underrated. It is something that is free you all to do. It doesn't even take a lot of time. You don't have to go into an hour of meditation to practice deep breathing. You can take like I said a minute or a couple of minutes because what it does physically for your body is it gets you into a calmer state. A lot of times, I know for those of you not new to mental health moment, you know that I'm usually running around here or there, right, on planes or doing something. But when we do that, you don't even have to be on planes. But when you do the running around thing that we all tend to do, our bodies get into fight or flight mode, right? We get revved up. We're like, oh, we got to do this. Oh, we got this deadline. We got this to do. Like all this stuff comes up physically for us. But when you stay in that physical state, that fight or flight for long periods of time, tons of research, it leads to physical and it could lead to mental health issues. So I mean, heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, all the physical stuff, or depression, anxiety, and all these other things come about because your body should not chronically be in that state. So when you take the time to practice your deep breathing, and this is something I do to this day. Like I practice what I preach, you all, but I literally have to tell myself sometimes, because I do get into a lot of different projects that I'm involved with, and I'll just be like, okay, pause, like breathe, just breathe, just breathe. Like I say that to myself and then take the time, and I wake up every morning now and practice the deep breathing, because it is okay for your mind and body to be in a calm state. You want to try to get back to that place as much as you can. Even if you have 500 things going on in your day and you're stressed out at this moment for whatever it is that's going on in your life, you can still try to take those moments of deep breathing and reset your mind and body.
So as women, we have to take on so much.
Yes.
You got to worry about getting the kids ready for school. You got to worry
Yes.
about what you're going to wear. You got to worry about dinner. You got to worry about lunch. You got to worry about this and that. And then the politics. If you're working in corporate America, you got to deal with that.
Yeah.
How how do you manage to juggle all those things and not lose your mind? I know breathing is. You
Yeah.
got any more tips?
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, you're right. I mean, honestly, it's so okay, a couple of things. One is, especially for women out there, to be honest with yourself, right? Because we know that there's a lot to juggle. And traditionally, for a lot of wherever you're at in the world, for a lot of places, not everywhere, but for a lot of places, there's this idea that women are the nurturers and we take care of everybody and we put everything else above ourselves, right? That's just what you're supposed to do. I, though, want to challenge you to not live like that. And I'm saying this as a person that did not at all focus on my own well-being for a very long time until I stopped that habit. Because, and the reason why is because when you make that mindset shift to start taking care of yourself, then what actually happens is not only do you have a better quality of life, but you're also helping the people around you too. So it's like a trickle effect. Like you're helping that, like you said, whomever in your life is your family member, friends, or whomever it is, coworkers or whomever. They want to see the best version of you too. So you're helping them as well. One of the things that I've heard time and time and time again, I continue to hear it from so many people, though, especially from women, is this feeling of guilt that comes up like, oh my God, I took care of myself, but what about the kids? And what about my job? And what about my significant other? And what about this and that? That is a process to work on not having the guilt and understanding that you deserve to thrive. You deserve to be emotionally healthy. You deserve to have self-love. You deserve to have self-care. You deserve these things. And again, once it clicks in your brain, it could take some time, then you start developing better habits. So I'm going to go out and say, on a limb and say it is very possible. It may seem hard right now, but it is possible. Even if you're a busy, crazy woman, like just juggling a million things. I get that life. Exactly. So it's very possible though to make those changes for you.
Okay, I want to say hi to Jerry. I don't know, Jerry Lynn, Jerry Teen, Geratine, Tristica,
Hey, whoever
Tammy,
it is, I can't see the
Nicole,
oh, can I see the comments?
Jeremy, huh?
Oh, I can see the oh, I didn't press the comments. Oh,
Vivian,
darn.
and Elma. Yeah. So let me just say, I'm gonna I'm gonna just throw a monkey in there. So typically the woman does everything, the man comes home and flops and does nothing. Is there a way that you can get your husband involved in some of the stuff that you're doing? I mean, just asking.
Yeah, I mean, I think it boils down to communication. Um, and it's so interesting in a lot of conversations I've had. Like I've heard a lot of different things actually. So I've heard that what you just described. I've heard the exact exact opposite, and dad and husband's doing everything and wife and mom isn't. Like, I've heard just a lot of different stories, but it is really about sitting down and saying, okay, what is going to work best for us? I know sometimes as women it's hard to ask for help. Um, but again, if you think through the lens of like, what is best for my mental health? Like a lot of things that you're doing, what is this best for my mental health? What is best for my mental health? Like when you get into that mindset and you go, wait, I need more help at home, let's say maybe from your significant other, then having that conversation. Because sometimes due to lack of communication, sometimes it's other things too, but it's just, like, oh, you're gonna do everything, okay, right? And the significant other might be like, okay, great, I don't have to do anything. But when you say to your spouse or partner, whomever it is, like, hey, I need help with this, or I would love to take this off my plate, or can you help in this sort of way, and you discuss what those roles could look like differently, um that's at least the start. So yeah, I would say start there.
Just have those conversations.
Yeah.
And I don't know anybody's financial situation, but there's an app that I use. It's called Thumbtack.
Oh,
and
yes.
and actually I found a cleaning person on
Yes.
there. Now I don't get it done like every week, but if I just feel like I just cannot do it,
Yeah.
I can just call her and say, look, I need you this week. Things like that help relieve stress. If
Yes.
you have not been, you're getting kind of depressed because your house is not where you want it to be, there are things that you can do, right, Doc?
Yes. And you're right. Like we are all in different, financial boats, if you will. So though knowing whatever your resources are, your financial resources are, how can you sort of delegate sometimes a task? Like if you're just too stressed out, but you have the means to be like, you know what, tonight we're not cooking. We're gonna get some takeout for the family. Like that's okay. That's allowed. You don't. There's no. What is it I read the other day? There's not like a badge of honor for suffering. Like that's not. We're not giving out trophies for suffering. Especially if you're able to. And again, we're all in different boats. But if you're able to say, okay, I need a break. I'm gonna do takeout, or like you said, I need a break. I need some help with cleaning my house, or however that break looks like for you. And you're like, it's one thing not to do it because you're like, oh, I'm my pride, or I'm supposed to do it and all that sort of thing, which is not good for your mental health, versus like you're not able to. That's very different. But if you're in the boat where you're like, man, I know I should be letting others help me, or maybe you have a parent or brother, sister, or someone else around you that's been begging you to like, hey, I can help you with the kids. Let me take the kids, for a weekend or whatever it is. Like, let people help you. Because again, if you're filtering through, is this good for my mental health? Like,
All
what is
right.
best for my mental health? Those types of
Hmm.
things help. Oh
So
yeah.
can you see the screen?
Yes.
Can you comment on it?
Yes. So okay. So I see walking through a divorce right now. So learning how to put my mental health first, extremely important. Extremely important. I always say it sounds selfish. I don't believe it is selfish at all, but you have to, not just you that show that on the screen, but for all of us, we have to work on making ourselves our number one priority. And that does start with your mental health. Because again, if you are falling apart, and it's hard, it's all go through difficult things, right? So things are difficult. But when we work on like, okay, how can I best support myself? How can I best get through this to help? And that person maybe has kids or not, or whatever it is their situation is, like there's ways to better your situation when you're at your best, if you will. And again, sometimes it takes going to a mental health professional. I know there's a stigma, but I have to put the PSA out, especially because it's Mental Health Awareness Month. It is okay. You're not crazy. You're not weak. You're not dumb. Like none of those things are true if you say, hey, I need to reach out to someone to help me get through whatever it is you're trying to get through. That is okay to do that if you need to take that step.
I agree 1,000%. And a lot of times, being that this is a Christian network, a lot of people, think like, oh, I can just pray it away. I can pray, and I'm a firm believer in prayer. Don't get this, Dr. Hammond. I
Yes,
am,
same.
but I'm also a firm believer in getting help
Yes.
if you need it.
Yes.
Prayer, when it says prayer without works, you got to do something,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So is dead. That's in the word. So if you need help, by all means, please get help. They even have a telehelp now, don't they?
Yep. They have telehealth. There's people that, whatever, depending on what, let's say Christianity, there's people that specialize in Christian based counseling. If that is something that you need, like you can have prayer and a mental health professional to help you get through. Like you are allowed to have both things. So be, strong in your faith if that's who you are, and you're allowed to also get help from someone else who is specializes and trains in helping people through whatever mental health challenges that you may be going through. And the other thing I want to say about therapy is that um sometimes I don't know where this came from, but I heard from a lot of people, like people think like, oh, you get into therapy and you have to do therapy for the rest of your life. And it's like, not necessarily. For the vast majority of people, they're not in therapy for like 30 years. Like that's just not what the vast majority of people are doing. So it may, depending on what's going on with you, it may be something where you need therapy for a couple months or a couple years. Like, but it's probably not going to be like 30 years. It could be, but highly unlikely it's going to be that long. So I just want people to keep that in mind too, because we just go through stuff. Like someone said, a divorce, or maybe it's a loss of a job or a loss of a loved one or some other type of grief or chronic pain or whatever it is that you're going through. And you just need someone during a, maybe whatever shorter amount of time to try to work through your emotions and learn how to get through that particular situation that you're in.
And Doc, your specialty is children. So let's talk about the babies. How can you know if your child is having a crisis?
So it definitely it depends on the child, but I will say there's always red flags when it comes to kids. So some of it is similar to adults, some of it is a little different, but kids sometimes are a little bit more irritable if they're, let's say they're elementary, middle school, maybe even high school ages. You start to notice a difference in school. Maybe their grades are starting to decline. They have behavioral issues for some kids. Some kids are on the quiet side. They have no behavioral issues and they're kind of struggling inside, or they're having problems eating or sleeping. You notice something is sort of off. It's sort of like that parent or caregiver gut instinct. You're like, oh, something's a little off here. Or, teachers are telling you something, or if they're in some type of activity, like you're hearing from other people too, like, hey, something is going on. And you might not know what that something is, which is why it's good to reach out to a family physician and or psychologist and just check in to say, hey, these things are happening. What does this mean? And it could be just normal kid stuff that's going on, adjustments and things like that to like school or, whatever it is, or there's a more serious issue happening. So it's definitely imperative to sort of get that checked out early.
And you've got a couple of books that they can get too, right, Doc?
Yes, my one of my latest books, I've told people I'm mental health moment, but I'll remind you all, is actually it's called Mindset Training. Oops, I don't know if you can see here on the screen, but Mindset Training, Conquer Your Mind, and the Rest Will Follow. That's one of my latest books. And I wrote that one.
Where's that available at?
It's on Amazon, barnesandnoble.com, walmart.com, and booksamillion.com. So basically any online major book retailer has it. But I wrote that book because, again, going back to us thinking about this issue of holistic self-care and making sure we're taking care of ourselves physically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. Like, it's very life-changing when you start to put even small little practical steps into place to try to work on becoming a better version of who you are.
That's good. That's good. And what are some of the things you have coming up?
Oh my goodness. Couple things. One that I'm super excited about. So you guys save the date. I think I announced that I'm mental health moment, but Friday, October 24th, I'll be hosting my Growth, Mindset, and Self-Care Summit. This is the second year. This year, it'll be in person. It'll be in Atlanta. So definitely save the date. So that's Friday, October 24th in Atlanta. Tickets are going to be available very soon, and I will definitely let you guys know, of course, when that's available very soon. It'll be available. And the other thing is, since we're in Mental Health Awareness Month, is I am hosting a mind reset challenge. So if you go to mindresetchallenge.com, you can download it. It's completely free. It's a 30-day mind reset. So like quick, easy things that you can do daily to really work on. It's almost like mental detox, if you will, instead of a physical detox, because a lot of times we just totally neglect that part of ourselves. So mindresetchallenge.com is the other thing I'm doing for Mental Health Awareness Month.
Doc, you've been a blessing, and you've been a blessing on our platform for a lot of years now.
Yeah.
What is something that you want to share before we wrap up?
One thing I have thanked you probably 100 times, but I'm gonna make it 101. I want to thank you so much for our friendship, but also like I'm just so excited because I've known you for a long time, like you said, and what you do for the world, because this is a global community, is so beautiful. I don't want to get emotional, but it's so beautiful, and I'm so glad to know you. I don't know why I'm getting emotional, but I'm so honored to know you, and I'm so happy that I can do Mental Health Moment on this platform. So I just want to thank you. I don't know why I'm getting emotional, but I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. So that's what I want to share.
Oh, well, we thank you because
Yeah.
you know, it's so needed. I don't well, no, I do remember. It just brought back to my memory how we met, but
Yes.
it's so needed, and in our community, I don't think that we address it as much as we should.
No. No.
Um, and so for you taking time, and I know how busy you are, taking time out of your schedule every Tuesday, and I mean, you are so faithful, more faithful than anybody else
Oh.
on this platform, and that's a fact.
Oh, I
Uh,
love Hey guys, I love doing Mental Health Moment each week. It's so fun.
and so, everybody, please share the broadcast and make sure every Tuesday, this is her spot. We're using her spot for Mental Health Moment. Every Tuesday at the same time, 8 o'clock, Dr. Hammond is here giving you tips, free tips
That's so
on
great.
how to deal with your well-being of your mental health. And that who does that? I don't know any other platform that does that. They might, but I don't know any. Do you?
No, I don't.
Exactly. So we're giving you this for free. Make sure that you follow Dr. Hammond. She's got her website. What's your website, Doc?
So it's literally my name, drnekeshiahammond.com.
And she's on LinkedIn. She's got a page on LinkedIn. She does pop-ups. Follow her personally, Dr. Nekeshia Hammond, and she does some great pop-ups. She does some daily. I see all your stuff. You know, I don't. You don't think I see it. She does little quotes and encouragement throughout the day. I mean, this is somebody you have to be connected with. It's really it's great for you to be connected with her because she's so positive, so encouraging, and so necessary, really. So I want to thank you for being faithful for all these years. um, and you can't go anywhere, so don't even get it in your mind that I'm letting you go anywhere, because you're not.
No, I love it
uh,
here.
and this has been great. So don't forget our directory. Dr. Hammond is in our directory too. I think she put stuff in there too. Videos. She's got videos. You go to blackwomanempowereddirectory.com. We've got some great vendors, business owners in there. We've got blogs. Let's see, what else do we have? Videos, blogs. You can post your events. It's a whole bunch of stuff. And actually, we just changed it where you can actually even get a monthly subscription.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we just added that. You can get a monthly subscription and cancel at any time. If you feel like in 2, 3 months this is not for you, you can cancel and be done with it. So we're trying to make it convenient. And as Dr. Hammond doesn't know this, but our next newsletter, we will have you featured. Your book will be one of our
Oh,
featured books in our next
thank you. I appreciate
edition.
you.
So thank you everybody for tuning in. Again, share the broadcast. We're right now we're live on YouTube, we're on Facebook, and we're on LinkedIn. We will be running this broadcast again. We do Black Money Matters on next Wednesday. We'll do it tomorrow. By the way, I will have Regina Jackson. If you don't know Regina Jackson, she is the woman. Oh, it's Race to Dinner. That's what her program is. Her and another lady who I can't remember. So they do a race to dinner, which is making white women aware of what racism looks like and how they can help combat it. And she's a pretty amazing woman. So I'm looking forward to interviewing her tomorrow. Tomorrow, I believe it's at 7. But check our page. It's 7 or 8. More than likely, it's at 7. Dr. Hammond, I love you.
Love you.
I love all of our followers. Nothing you can do about it. And Dr. Hammond will be back our regular time next week.
Yes.
Thank you so much for tuning in. God bless.